what we saw about 90 minutes ago, bit by bit, as Nancy Snow once again. And I want to start with that iconic moment of when, Emperor Naruhito is sitting on the Pine Pavilion, chrysanthemum throne, and the curtain opens. A scene almost identical to his father's enthronement back in 1990. Speak to the significance of that.
Well, this is his proclamation that he has fully become the emperor, and that's why you have this reveal, and it's a reveal to the public, to the Japanese people, to the foreign dignitaries. This is really about Japan opening itself to the world vis-a-vis this emperor, and that's why it is so auspicious. It's so really inspiring. It's a moment for Japan. And then when you think about his remarks, too, emphasizing peace and happiness going forward, which were then reflected by Prime Minister Abe before the cheers.
Right. Looking at the emperor, I mean, he's wearing 35 or so pounds of clothing, and that orange color is highly significant, isn't it?
That's right. It represents the highest point of the sun in the sky, this being the land of the rising sun. So it does have this history and this continuity, and it is reflected in the colors, in the hues that we see. A lot of gold and lacquer and, of course, silk.
Even lacquer
silk.
Shoes, which can't be too comfortable to walk, as you took 13 minutes to walk, to get to the Pine Pavilion. You mentioned Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who we saw not in a political role, but as a representative of the Japanese people. And we have the video of, and if we can just kind of let the sound play at full, when they shouted "Banzai." Let's listen for a moment, then you can tell us more about that.
Banzai! Banzai!
So it doesn't just mean long live the emperor. You're talking about
long live for 1,000 years. I mean, really going forward, this is about Japan's continuing into the future, and they are a lineage that represent this so boldly.
And that was one of the few moments where when we saw the gun salute that you could hear echoing through here in Tokyo, even from our location near the palace. It was really quite a dramatic moment, and you get goosebumps to kind of see it on screen and then hear the booms from where we are.
Well, you can't really help but feel the goosebumps in the moment, and I've even received some messages from Japanese friends who said that they were feeling good about the Japan representing peace and harmony in the world. You can't make light of this because this is really touted regularly in Japan.
So the big banquet happens in a few hours from now. You have 400 VIPs from 174 different countries, everyone from Prince Charles to the U.S. Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao. You have the former French President Nicolas Sarkozy. But what is also significant, because you have so many politicians here, that Shinzo Abe has something like 50 bilateral meetings in the coming days, taking advantage of all these powerful figures here in Tokyo.
Yeah, and this will be interesting. He's going to need a lot of endurance, but this might actually shape the narrative going forward, because the ceremony, until we have the ceremonial motorcade on November 10th, this will sort of quiet down, and then we'll go back to politics as we always do. But dialogue is always good to have these bilateral sit-downs.
John, the emperor certainly has an apolitical role, but to be able to draw kings from all over Europe, heads of state from all over the world for this event, it certainly is a big moment for Japan and an opportunity for Japan to open up conversations with a whole lot of their allies around the world.
Yeah, and it was like watching a piece of history. The ceremony, which was 1,200 years old and obviously hasn't changed a whole lot, except for maybe a few modern touches. Will, thank you so much. Also, Nancy Snow there in Tokyo, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you. And thank you.